The afternoon sun of Viridia 3 was waning, casting long shadows over the landing site where Commander John Harris stood, his pulse racing with anticipation. This was it, the first formal meeting with the Viridians since their surprising and unconventional introduction to humanity several weeks ago. The Viridians, a species known for their elusiveness and cryptic messages, had chosen an extraordinary way to initiate contact, by an act that, in human terms, would be considered provocatively revealing. Harris adjusted the translator device in his ear as he surveyed the terrain. The landing area was a clear patch of ground amidst towering cerulean vegetation, unlike anything back on Earth. He watched as his team set up perimeter scanners and readied their equipment. Although this was a diplomatic mission, caution remained paramount. The Viridians were still largely a mystery. Suddenly, a gentle whirring sound pierced the air, and a sleek metallic craft shimmering with iridescent colors descended toward them. The craft, which bore no visible seams or joints, landed smoothly on the ground. A moment later, a section of the hull morphed into a ramp, and 3 Viridian figures appeared. They were taller than the average human, with elongated limbs and skin that seemed to shimmer with a light of its own. Their eyes were large and expressive, conveying a sense of deep intelligence and curiosity. What was most striking, however, were their garments, thin, almost translucent robes that glimmered with the colors of their skin. As they approached, the leader of the trio, a statuesque figure with indigo tints on her skin, did something unexpected. With a graceful motion, she and her companions lifted the hem of their skirts, revealing their lower limbs, which were adorned with intricate glowing patterns. This act, Harris had learned, was a traditional Viridian gesture of greeting, signifying transparency and a willingness to reveal one's true intentions. "Welcome, Commander Harris," the leader spoke, her voice resonant and melodic. "I am Alicia, designated emissary of the Viridian Council. We greet you in peace and openness, as is our way." Harris nodded, his heart beating fast as he returned the gesture, lifting the edge of his jacket slightly. An awkward mimicry, but the best he could manage without actual skirts. "Thank you, Alicia. We are honored by your welcome and come with the same intentions." The initial awkwardness faded as both parties engaged in dialogue. Alicia explained that their revealing greeting was deeply symbolic, rooted in an ancient Viridian philosophy that prized transparency and truth above all else. To the Viridians, hiding nothing was akin to showing trust. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting the sky into shades of purple and orange, the two groups shared information about their cultures, technologies, and histories. Harris found himself fascinated not only by the Viridians' advanced technology, but also by their complex societal structures and their art, which seemed to blend seamlessly with their everyday lives. Before departing, Alicia invited Harris and his team to visit their capital city, a gesture that solidified the budding relationship between humans and Viridians. As the Viridian ship lifted off, leaving a trail of luminescent particles in the air, Harris felt a profound sense of hope and excitement. This first chapter of interspecies relations held the promise of not just mutual understanding, but of a blossoming friendship that could bridge 2 worlds. Standing there, under the alien sky, Harris knew that the next chapters of this journey would be as unprecedented as the first, filled with discoveries and challenges alike. And humanity, he believed, was ready for it. As the shuttle entered the atmosphere of Viridia 3, Commander John Harris watched in awe as the Viridian capital city came into view. Dubbed the capital of light by human observers, the city was a sprawling metropolis of crystalline towers and luminescent bridges, reflecting the planet's twin suns in a dazzling array of colors. The shuttle landed smoothly on a platform that seemed to be made of light itself, shimmering and shifting subtly underfoot. Alicia greeted them warmly, her figure haloed by the ambient glow of the city. "Welcome to our center of civilization," she said, gesturing to the vibrant expanse before them. As they walked through the city, Harris was struck by the seamless integration of nature and architecture. Buildings flowed into garden spaces and water features, each structure uniquely adaptive to its environment. The Viridians, he realized, did not just build their city, they grew it, guided by a technology so advanced it seemed like magic to human eyes. Alicia led them to what she called the Assembly of Echoes, a vast auditorium where voices and ideas resonated not just through air, but through the very fabric of the building. "Here we gather to exchange thoughts and govern," she explained. "Our decisions are made through collective resonance, where every voice is heard and harmonized." The discussion turned to technology. Viridian tech was not only about utility, but was deeply aesthetic, each device and system designed to enhance both function and beauty. They demonstrated devices that harnessed light for energy, sculpted gravity into transport pathways, and manipulated time to enhance crop yields. "Your understanding of quantum mechanics must be far advanced," Harris remarked, examining a device that subtly altered temporal parameters. "Indeed," Alicia replied. "We see time as a fabric woven into the universe, one that can be gently tailored to better suit the needs of the present." Their next stop was the Hall of Artistry, where technology and art were indistinguishable. Holographic canvases painted themselves with light and shadow, sculptures morphed based on the collective moods of the viewers, and musical compositions played with the frequency of the planet's natural rhythms. As the day ended, Harris and his team were invited to a communal meal where food was another form of art and expression. Dishes were prepared not only to taste exquisite, but also to visually represent different aspects of Viridian culture and philosophy. Each bite was an exploration, each flavor a story. Late into the evening, as they discussed potential collaborations, Alicia proposed an exchange program. "Let us learn from each other, not as two species, but as one community eager to explore the boundless potentials of our combined capabilities." Harris agreed, excited by the prospects. As they parted ways, the glow from the city seemed to encapsulate the promise of this new alliance, enveloping both humans and Viridians in a shared light of understanding and curiosity. The deep night sky of Viridia 3, speckled with stars, was no longer a foreign canvas, but a backdrop to a new confluence of interstellar kinship. In the depths of the Viridian Research Complex, Commander John Harris and his team were introduced to a groundbreaking project, the Quantum Veil. Alicia explained that this technology was capable of altering the fabric of reality itself, allowing for instantaneous travel across vast distances of space. As they approached a large dome-like structure, Harris observed the air shimmering, as if heat were rising from the ground. "This is where we test the limits of spatial manipulation," Alicia said. The interior of the dome was filled with floating platforms, each one a different experiment in quantum mechanics. Harris watched as a Viridian scientist stepped onto a platform and vanished, only to reappear on another platform across the room. "The quantum veil bends space around the traveler, creating a direct path through a higher dimensional space," Alicia elaborated, noticing his amazed expression. Curious, Harris asked, "Could this technology be used for more than just physical transport? Could it perhaps allow us to explore alternative realities or dimensions?" "That is the horizon we strive towards," Alicia responded. "Exploring alternate realities offers unimaginable possibilities for understanding the universe and ourselves." The discussion shifted towards the potential for humanity to integrate this technology. Alicia led them to a laboratory where human-compatible quantum interfaces were being developed. "These devices," she explained, "would allow humans to interact safely with Viridian technology without the physiological discrepancies that typically arose." In a gesture of deep trust, Alicia offered Harris the chance to experience the quantum veil. After a brief moment of hesitation, he agreed, stepping onto the platform. He felt a tingling sensation as the world around him seemed to dissolve into streaks of light. When his vision cleared, he found himself standing in a simulation room designed to mimic environments from Earth. Mountains, rivers, and skies transitioned smoothly around him, each scenario a perfect recreation. "We use this space to study environmental variables across different realities," explained a Viridian scientist accompanying him. Returning to the real world, Harris was full of questions about the implications of such power. Could it be misused? What were the ethical considerations? Alicia acknowledged these concerns. "With great power comes great responsibility. We are cautious, as should all be who tread these paths." Later, at a meeting with both human and Viridian leaders, Harris discussed establishing protocols for the shared use of the quantum veil. It was crucial that such technology not lead to conflict but rather be a bridge for deeper understanding and cooperation. As the meeting concluded, plans were put in place for a joint task force to oversee the integration and deployment of the technology. Harris felt a profound sense of responsibility and excitement. The ability to traverse space and perhaps even time opened new frontiers for collaboration, exploration, and perhaps most importantly, mutual growth. The Viridian city hummed with a quiet anticipation as Commander John Harris prepared for the first official test of the quantum veil with human participants. The testing ground was set in a remote sector of the city, designed to safeguard against any unforeseen anomalies. As Harris and his selected team of engineers and scientists suited up in the newly designed quantum interfaces, Alicia briefed them once more. This test will bridge not only spatial distances, but potentially temporal ones. The interfaces you wear are tuned to ensure your safe return to this exact moment and place. The air in the test chamber was electric as the team took their positions on the marked platforms. Lights dimmed, and a soft pulsing glow emanated from the center of the room, where the quantum veil's controls were located. With a nod from Harris, the Viridian technicians initiated the sequence. Reality warped, the edges of the chamber blurring and stretching as if the room itself were breathing. Harris felt a momentary disorientation, a sense of detachment from his body. Then, just as suddenly, the environment stabilized, and they found themselves on the outskirts of an alien landscape that was distinctly not Viridian. They stood on the edge of a vast desert, under a sky lit by 3 low-hanging moons. The ground was covered with a fine silver sand that sparkled under the moonlight, creating an almost sea-like effect. Harris took a step forward, his footprints leaving luminescent trails. "This isn't just another place," one of the scientists, Dr. Lena Kim, observed, looking around in awe. The gravity feels slightly off. We might be in an alternate dimension." They conducted environmental tests, collecting samples of the air and sand, while also setting up temporary sensors that relayed data back through the quantum veil to Viridia 3. Each piece of data would help construct a clearer picture of the multiverse's architecture. After an hour, they returned through the veil, the transition back to Viridia 3 as jarring as the departure. Back in the lab, their findings sparked a flurry of activity. The environmental data was unlike anything they had seen. The laws of physics there were subtly different, suggesting not merely a different universe, but a completely divergent evolutionary timeline. The implications were staggering. Each test through the quantum veil could potentially reveal new universes, each with its own unique laws and life forms. The scientific and philosophical questions were endless. How many realities were there? What did this mean for the concept of destiny and free will? Was there a universe where history had taken a different path? As the excitement settled, Harris and Alicia convened with the council to discuss the broader ramifications. The potential for cultural and technological exchange was unprecedented, but so were the risks. Stringent protocols were established, not only governing the use of the quantum veil, but also the ethical considerations of interacting with alternate universes. The council decided to continue the exploration, but with extreme caution. For now, the focus would be on unmanned missions, using drones and remote sensors to gather more data. Humanity and the Viridians were stepping into uncharted territory, and each step had to be measured. In the quiet of the lab, as Harris watched the data streaming in from a universe parallel yet distinct from his own, he felt a profound connection to the cosmos. The myriad possibilities of existence stretched out before him, a vast, unending web of realities waiting to be understood. Back on Earth, news of the quantum veil stirred a cauldron of excitement and fear. Governments, corporations, and the public grappled with the implications of technology that could bypass the known laws of physics. As debates raged, Harris found himself at the center of a maelstrom of political and scientific scrutiny. In the midst of this terrestrial turmoil, an unexpected anomaly was detected by Viridian sensors, a faint yet distinct ripple in the quantum field emanating from a distant star system. This disturbance was unlike anything either humans or Viridians had observed before, suggesting the presence of another, possibly unknown, advanced civilization. Alicia, collaborating closely with Harris, proposed a mission to investigate the source of the anomaly. Utilizing the quantum veil, a team of mixed species, scientists, diplomats, and security personnel, prepared to take a leap into the unknown, their destination a remote star system several galaxies away. As the team gathered, Harris briefed them on the potential dangers. "We are stepping into uncharted territory," he cautioned. "Our mission is to observe, learn, and establish contact if possible. But above all, we must ensure that no harm comes to our galaxy or any other." The expedition was launched from the Viridian space station, orbiting a pulsar that served as a natural energy source, enhancing the quantum veil's capabilities. As the team activated the device, they felt the familiar sensation of space-time bending around them, a tunnel of vibrant colors enveloping their senses. When they emerged, they were greeted by a panorama of unspoiled cosmic beauty, a binary star system with planets of vibrant blues and greens visible in the distance. However, the beauty was underscored by a palpable sense of something amiss. The quantum disturbance was traced to a small, seemingly uninhabited planet at the edge of the system. Approaching the planet, they detected high levels of quantum fluctuations, the atmosphere alive with energy not naturally occurring. It was here that they encountered the shadows, a term Harris coined for the entities they found, made of dense quantum energy, seemingly sentient, and unlike any life form documented before. Initial attempts to communicate were met with silence. The shadows, phasing in and out of visibility, seemed to be studying the team as much as they were being studied. Harris observed, "They are not communicating through any means we understand. We need to try something different." Drawing on the Viridians' understanding of quantum mechanics, the team constructed a device capable of emitting pulses of quantum energy, similar to those emitted by the shadows. When activated, the device finally elicited a response. The shadows began to mimic the patterns of the pulses, a rudimentary form of communication slowly unfolding. As the dialogue of pulses grew more complex, the shadows revealed their nature as guardians of a quantum singularity, a point in space where the laws of physics converged into something new and unexplored. They had detected the human Viridian exploration as a potential threat to the delicate balance of their singularity. With diplomacy and careful negotiation, Harris and his team assured the shadows of their peaceful intentions. In exchange, the shadows agreed to share insights into their quantum singularity, offering a glimpse into what might be a new dimension of reality. Through this encounter, the Human-Viridian Alliance learned more than the mere existence of another life form. They uncovered deeper complexities of the universe, where entities not only lived in harmony with extreme forces, but also guarded the very fabric of reality itself. As the knowledge from the encounter with the shadows began to disseminate, both human and Viridian scientists found themselves on the cusp of a theoretical revolution. The information provided by the shadows opened new avenues for understanding quantum singularities, suggesting that these phenomena could serve as gateways to exploring multiple dimensions of reality. Back on Viridia 3, Harris and Alicia convened a symposium, inviting the foremost thinkers from both species to theorize and debate the implications of this newfound knowledge. The symposium was held in the luminous Hall of Convergence, a structure designed to adapt its internal environment to facilitate communication and idea exchange. During the discussions, a bold idea took shape: the creation of the Nexus project. This initiative aimed to develop a controlled singularity, replicating the one guarded by the shadows but within a secure environment. The goal was to create a stable gateway, allowing for safe exploration and interaction with alternate dimensions. The project was ambitious, requiring unprecedented collaboration across scientific disciplines and cultures. Engineers, physicists, biologists, and quantum theorists from both races worked together, their efforts facilitated by the technologies shared during the mission. The construction of the Nexus took place in a specially designed orbital facility, where the effects of the singularity could be contained and studied without risk to planetary bodies. As the Nexus approached completion, anticipation grew. The facility was equipped with advanced quantum stabilizers, a series of concentric rings that could be adjusted to fine-tune the Singularity's properties. The control room was abuzz with activity as the final calibration was made. Harris, Alicia, and a team of experts watched through protective quantum shields as the first artificial singularity was initiated. The air inside the chamber shimmered, and then, with a pulse of light, the singularity stabilized, forming a swirling vortex of energy suspended in the center of the room. It was smaller than expected, no larger than a basketball, but its presence was a monumental achievement. The first exploratory probe sent through the Nexus returned data from what appeared to be a parallel universe. The environment was similar to Earth's, but with noticeable differences in flora and fauna. The success of the probe mission sparked a wave of excitement. This was proof of concept for multiversal exploration. However, with great breakthroughs came great responsibility. The symposium reconvened to discuss the ethical implications of accessing alternate realities. A new set of protocols known as the Nexus Guidelines was drafted, focusing on non-interference and conservation of the realities they would explore. In the spirit of shared discovery and mutual respect, Harris and Alicia announced the formation of the Multiversal Exploration Alliance, MEA. This body would oversee all operations related to the Nexus, ensuring that both human and Viridian interests were balanced with the welfare of the universes they touched. The inauguration of the MEA was celebrated in the Hall of Convergence, now symbolically representing not just the union of two species, but also the meeting point of multiple realities. As Harris looked around at the gathering of diverse beings, united by a common quest for knowledge, he felt a profound sense of accomplishment and hope. The Nexus of reality stood as a testament to what could be achieved when different worlds, literally and metaphorically, worked together. The future was uncertain and infinitely complex, but for now the realms of possibility had expanded beyond the wildest dreams of those who stood at the threshold of this new dimension.